So here again is the case feeder. I still haven't made plans, but I'll try to describe it the best I can. We got our loading block, which rides on a pivot, which is offset from our hull, which has a bushing in it that is chamfered. When it's in the back position, your case will drop right down and into the hole, and the other one will rest right on top of it. When you go into the forward position, it'll fall right through, and the other one will stay on the ledge. Your angle you're going to want to use is approximately 35 to 40 degrees. The plunger that activates it rides through a brass bushing with a roller on the top. Hornady uses a ball. You could do the same, but a roller with just a pin through the center was a little easier. When you get to the bottom of it, all you got to do is put an air spring under it, and then a stop plunger. When your shell plate comes up, it'll push right against it, and as you see, a case drop through. The trickiest part really is finding the correct alignment between your case feeder and where you're going to drop through. I'll have to get some measurements up, but that's probably one of the more difficult parts. The other issue is finding the correct angles on this. It starts out at about 45-degree angle, goes up approximately an inch, then it changes over to a 60-degree angle. That's about another approximate 2.5 inches. You might have to play around with that one a little bit. For the mounting, I welded on a new tab to the supply bracket, as well as welded the supply bracket to another plate which mounts onto your press. You gotta thread the end of your rod so you can move this up and down, which will help you position your actual feeder. The higher you move this up, it'll push this out. As you move it down, it'll push it closer to your shell plate. The feeder arm itself has a brass insert, which is spring loaded. This allows it so once you're pushing in against the case and the case is already bottomed out, this has somewhere to go as you go down and prime. I'll take it off, show pictures of it. I couldn't find an actual limit switch that had the right spring pressure, so when a case fell on it, it would deactivate. So I had to get a little creative and make it. It's got a brass bushing inside the arm with just a light spring on it. Couldn't tell you what it came out of, something I had laying around. For the contacts, it's 2 pieces of silver out of a line starter. Originally I tried brass and copper. It started getting charred, and every 50 rounds you have to sand it. So silver is the way to go if you're going to make one. The feed tube itself, just a piece of 1/2 inch copper, milled windows in it so you can see where you're at. The block, straight through, it's your OD or your pipe, except for at the very bottom it tapers into a cone shape nub to I think I did it at 550 thousandths, give or take a little bit. This allows most of the cases that I do. You could change it for whatever you like though. When you get to new cases, you just loosen it, move it up and down for the height of the case. The feeder itself, you'll need to put a clutch in it. The motor, if it jams on a case, doesn't like it, you'll strip the gears out. You got to put a clutch. There's a friction disc with the spring pushing a metal disc against the friction disc. That's what will do it primarily. It'll allow it to slip. You see we got a loading gate window. Originally I copied Hornady on that idea, but it's really not necessary. Seems like I keep it in that area most of the time for 45, 9mm, 357. Really makes no difference. The shell plate itself, that's inside, you're gonna have to figure out your spacing off the bottom. I made it so you don't need adjustable shell plates. I use one size for everything I do. I drilled the holes in it at again, a little over 500 thousandths, and that allows me to do all of what I do. The motor that's inside this case feeder, I got it from Amazon. I think it's 4 RPM. It's just a 12 volt DC motor, gear driven. To power it, you got your hookup, and it goes to just a power pack. Nothing special. What else did I do? This is a powder cop I made for it. Again, just machined it out of a bar. Works just like theirs. I don't use it for all my calibers. Only certain ones I can't see in so easily. I'll show you press operating though. Right now I'm doing 9mm. I'm not doing sizing. I did that on my single stage. One of the chambers of my gun's kind of tight, so I had to machine down the top of my shell plate so I could push my brass up into the die a little higher. This takes away the bulge out of the base. It's the only way I could get it to work in my range officer. Gun just went back to Springfield, so hopefully I don't have to do that anymore, but for now, that's what I do.